Hi, and welcome to today's session. So, today we'll be working through certain strong emotions, for example, anger or frustrations or a lot of irritability that you have pent up, and sorry, many times you cannot take it out on anybody. You can just kind of swallow it or rage it all out, and you don't want to do that also. So why not do art in that case? So this is one simple example of how to let go of your anger, your frustration, your irritation in just a matter of minutes. And for that, we just take a small piece of paper. You can take any kind of paper. This is a simple children's drawing paper that we use. And I have used a marker, this Faber-Castell. You can use any pen. Even this Reynolds permanent writing pen is good enough as long as it's a permanent ink so that it doesn't come off. And what you do is take a piece of paper. This is the A5 small size paper, and you just take all your anger, focus at that area of your body where you have the anger, or the irritation or the frustration or the grief or whatever it is, that strong emotion that you want to get rid of. Focus on that. Take a deep breath in. See where it is. If it is anger, it is somewhere near the belly area, it is near the heart. Sometimes it's burning all over. It's near the throat area also because you're itching to speak and rage it out. So take all that energy and use it on the paper. Just crumple the paper as much as you can. Sometimes you can just hit the paper also that way. And you want to crumple some more, you can. This is this thing sturdy paper, so you can see it is folding in strong lines. You can do it one more like this. And once you feel okay, I have done enough here, you just straighten it out. In here what you see are these lines, crinkly lines over here, the kind of foam pattern. So we're going to trace it out. There are many ways, simple ways. You can just follow the lines directly, or what I like to do is I like to follow it in such a way that it forms a kind of a natural organic line. So it can be a straight line if you want, like this, or rather I prefer, instead of a straight line, I prefer a little organic, slightly wavy lines. So we're just going to follow it all around. There is nothing to think in this. Idea is to let your hand do the job, your body. Where does it want to go? Just let it go. You will find maybe the remnants of your anger or emotion. That emotion is still there. It's okay. So this is where you're allowing it to leave your body. You can follow all the crinkly lines, or you can just leave some of them. You can select and choose which one you're called to follow. It doesn't have to be pretty. We are not making a pretty picture. What we are doing is we're just letting the body release what it doesn't need. And when our mind is doing something repeated, like drawing lines in this case, following the crinkly lines, the body tend to relax. Just don't forget to breathe. Okay. So this was not a pre-planned session as such. I myself was feeling a little frustrated with things not going the way I expected them to. And we carry a lot of expectations, yeah. In our life, we do something and we expect a particular result to come out of that. That sometimes, not sometimes, all the times actually, can be pretty detrimental to us in our mental health, especially. With that expectation holds us up to a lot of, uh, what should I say, disenchantment, or when things doesn't fall through the way we are just setting ourselves up for sadness basically. So that is what happened today. That's why I thought I'm going to do this. And then I thought, why not share it? Because all of us fall into that trap once in a while, yeah. So just go along with the flow. Let your hand and the pen do the talking for once. And when you feel you have had enough or enough lines, or you don't want to draw anymore, it's becoming too crowded, you can just leave it. Yeah. So this is one stage where I feel, okay, this is good enough. But I would like to go one more step forward. And that is, I'll just show you in a minute. If you see this, the places where the lines are touching each other, the points, they form a very sharp angle everywhere. They're not pretty lines. You see, they're not at all perfect, and that is perfectly fine, because we are not looking at perfection here. We're just letting go. But what we are doing is, now you see all these pointy corners, sharp corners, we're going to round them out. And when I say round them out, it means, I'll just show you. You take this angle, for example. So this is the point. We don't want any sharp points. We are just going to put a small curve here and make sure that angle is now gone. The sharpness is now gone. So like this over here also. And just go through it. Over here there is another sharpness. So that again I'm going to, here again I feel there is another angle. So every time there is a connection between two lines, there is always a little bit of sharpness, and that is the area that we want to work on. Yeah, and this is one area where I really like to take my time and go inward, feel what is going on in my body, and do the rounding with full awareness. So focus on your breath, because this can really be a very enjoyable process. And also this is one of the most important part of the entire thing. When you're rounding it and you're doing it gently with focus and with awareness, this happens to be one of the most important, or rather the most healing part, one of the most healing part of the entire process. So just take your time and breathe through it. Now if you are doing it mindfully, you will realize that something is also happening in your body. Some sensations in, just make sure you are aware of it, which part of your body is having certain sensations. For example, when you were drawing the lines and when you were hitting on the paper and crumbling it, you had a certain strong emotion, yeah. So that emotion, now it is released and still in the process of getting released. So that body part which had been holding on to that energy is going to give you some symptoms of release. That is what I meant to say. So that could be uh, a feeling of heat sometimes, or a feeling of something energetically moving around. Like in my heart area, I feel a certain sensation, some movement happening. Sometimes it could be in the throat area. Surprisingly, sometimes it could be in the hip area also. It can be in the solar plexus area. Take a deep breath in and breathe. Visualize your breath going there and kind of helping in releasing that energy to leave your body. So it can get magnified. Sometimes some people get chills, like I did a lot of times. And just don't forget to breathe. Another reason why this I prefer to use this rounding is in neuro arts, in all form of neuro arts. Many of the artists who use neuro art uses this for the simple reason that um, sharp angles are not in harmony, in the sense it makes you feel a little even more, um, feel unsafe, feel little bit more, uh, you know, that feeling of unease is there, because generally sharp angles and pointy stuff are associated symbologically in our mind with danger, and we want to reduce that. And in Neurographica, though this style is not Neurographica, in Neurographica also this happens to be one of the most important part of the drawing process, when we are rounding out all the corners where conflicts, it kind of denotes conflict, and we don't want conflict in our life. So that is where all the rounding comes in. And the second thing is, which I find personally very drawn to, or connected with, or rather resonate with, is that all these lines, think of it as, uh, in nature, none of us can, no man is an island, they say. We cannot survive or hope to excel, not excel on our own, or succeed on our own. We require support. We require friends, families, people who love us, teachers. So many people build us up. And these lines denote that, in a way, are us reaching out for connections to the world at large, to the people that love us, to the people we love. They supporting us, and in turn, we supporting them. So each one helping the other one up, and so on and so forth. So these connections, this that we are drawing on the paper, is also more of a symbol of the human connection that we have. That's why I love to do this, because that brings me so much of calmness and happiness. Just putting that down in my drawing as part of the drawing process, that yes, that we are not alone, and we are there to support each other. And no matter what, somewhere, someone, something is there to support us. So that is one part of it. Now the other big part is that not just a connection with humans, but with the entire universe at large. There is a bigger support. We want to call it God, or the creator, or the universe, or source, whatever we want to call it. We know there is something larger, bigger than all of us, and that connection is just as important. So every connection that we create, be it with humans, with other people, or with nature, with animals, with different species, or the environment around us, or with God, We always want that relationship, that connection to be smooth and free flowing on both sides, on all sides. So this is the symbology or the meaning behind all this rounding that we are doing. That every relationship that we are in, be it with my own emotions, be it with my own body, because we do have a relationship with ourselves, yeah, with our inner self. How healthy is that? How smooth can we make it? Just don't forget to breathe. Always take a deep breath in and let your hands move around. Just don't forget to be aware of what you're doing also at the same time. If you're feeling anything, just accept it. Okay, nothing is wrong. I mean, even if you feel like crying or tears come up, which is very, very, very normal in this case, in this kind of processes, very normal. So it is a perfectly natural thing. You can let it flow because it is all that pent up energy and emotions leaving your body. It is a process of healing. So allow yourself to go through that process with grace and kindness. But the first act of kindness begins with ourselves. Before we can be kind to others, we have to be kind to ourselves. And this process allows you to go through that. So anything that comes up, even if nothing comes up, that is also perfectly fine. Everything is perfectly fine. Yeah, sometimes it happens, healing happens with such ease and grace that many people don't even feel it. They're the lucky ones. But most people feel it on a physical level. We have to. What we feel, that is what we heal. So many of us, many people are kind of trained or programmed from childhood not to feel. No, feeling it's not good. That's what we have been taught. And that has led to a lot of issues later on because we're not able to cope and understand and cope with what is going on. So do allow yourself to feel. Give time and space to yourself to heal. Because when you heal yourself, you heal those around you. Just by bringing out the real you, you give others a chance to be their true selves without fear. So everything begins with ourselves. And with every rounding that I'm doing, I'm envisioning that somewhere some emotional issues that I have that I don't even know is getting resolved. Getting resolved is it's a powerful thing what the mind can do. And there is something about neuroplasticity. When we draw this type of drawing, we make this type of drawing with lines and this thing. It is about drawing in such a way that it can kind of change or affect the neuroplasticity of the brain. So you can actually reprogram the mind to think or view things differently. That is the power of art in many ways, if we can allow ourselves to be. Okay, so now so this is where we are, and this is, if you remember how we began was this and now we are here. So we have some things here. We can stop here, but I would really want to take things forward by putting colors all around in it. So there are certain ways you can put colors. You can just put random colors of your choice. What colors make you happy, and then start putting And that is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is, what do you look in the image and see, what do you find here? Do you see anything structural? Would you like to add anything here? So let's see. So what you can do, another thing is, you can just rotate your drawing and see if one angle feels way better for you, or you see something that you like, that you would like to work on, or can bring out from among this maze of lines. So I'm just kind of moving around and trying to see, and I do in fact, from this angle I see a dragonfly like flying down. I think I can turn this into a dragonfly with wings, this one. And I see two flowers here, one flower here and another flower here, overlapping something, and I think this also I can turn into a flower. So I have three flowers and one dragonfly, and the rest can be the backdrop. So let's see how things goes on after this. So this is, you can stop here, but coloring is one of the things where you are allowing yourself to release completely, and then you are kind of bringing back the joy in your life. So use whatever color calls out to you. There is no such thing as right or wrong. Yeah, so I think I will bring that in the second part, otherwise this video is going to get too long. See you for the part 2 of this.